Hey, it's Chad and Sarah with DriveTheLightning.com.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us for another video.
We appreciate it.
Yeah,
Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being here.
appreciate you being here. Of
Aw.
course, you live here.
I do. I'm
Yeah,
always here.
not in the studio,
Right.
but on the other side of that door is like a house. So,
Where I live.
and where you live, yeah, where
And I
we live.
invite you over sometimes.
Thank you. Yeah, 'cause for about 30 years. Okay, so this one's about gas, fuel.
Fuel.
This one's about fuel.
Yes.
Sarah and I have not bought gas at a gas station in almost 2 years. This summer will be 2 years, like June.
Right. I
And
really haven't missed it.
haven't missed it. We feel so free. It's like liberating. And the reason we decided to do this, I got a call from my dad, Boomer, the other day, and he says, Chad, I was pumping gas at $4 a gallon, and I thought, you must be driving by the gas station laughing at people.
We would never laugh at people.
It's not funny.
It's not funny.
It's a big deal to pay $4 a gallon in gas, which we're doing here. Well, not we, okay. Like some of you are doing here in Michigan. And we know it's more or less, depending on where we live. But it's a big deal to see $4 a gallon. And a lot of people are starting to think, should I be buying gas? And the answer is no.
That's our opinion.
Okay, that's it. That's this video. No, okay.
Have a nice
We got a little
day.
bit more. We got a little bit more.
Oh, wait. We get a little more.
Yeah. We want to just show you the math of what we spend and how that compares to the average daily commute for Americans and what they spend in gasoline. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, basically, what we're trying to do is express the idea that some people might be thinking, oh, it's just not practical for me to go EV. But we're going to kind of break down a little bit of why it's practical for us, and maybe it's more practical for you than you realize. It feels like a big foreign change and really hard to wrap your head around. That's how I felt anyway when Chad was like, hey, we're going to get an electric car. And I was like, no, that's not how it's done. It is how it's done.
Yeah.
And it's really nice.
It's really
And
nice.
so we decided to break down really what it's been like for us for the last 2 years in a practical way, and also help others see how convenient it is to not have to go to the
What
gas
happens
station.
is, Sarah, is a lot of us, ourselves included through the years, have bought based on our fears.
Right.
Now, 90% of our life is working back into our local places, to religious services and other stuff we do around town.
Grocery store,
Grocery store.
bowling alley.
If we bowling alley. But that's 90% of what we do. But we don't buy for that. We think, but what about them few times I got to go see Aunt Susie out of town?
Right.
I'm so afraid of not being able to do that I purchase a vehicle that will allow me to do that, even though I almost never do it.
Right. What if I want to take a road trip?
Right. So that's what we tend to do as people. Hey, if you're just finding out this about yourself, I'm not your therapist. I'm just Chad. I'm just Chad. But I'm telling you from life experience, that's what we have done. We tend to buy towards our fears instead of toward what we actually need, which is the practical thing to do.
Right. Also, when it comes to EV, it's an unknown factor. You just don't know what it's like because you've never done it before.
Right.
And so also another thing that we tend to do based on those fears is avoid what we don't know and go with what we've always known. Even if what we've always known is a problem sometimes.
You know what? The more we talk, the more I'm thinking we do like fear-based decision making in life. This is scary.
We should talk to someone.
I feel bad if we dove into this a little because I feel a little creepy about it. But let's talk real numbers now for our last year. And we're going to compare it to what the last U.S. Census said the average American's work commute is, which is 27 miles.
Okay.
So one way. So that's 54 miles.
Right. Because you have to get home from work. You might have a charger at work, but you might not. So in case you don't, there you go.
But either way, you're driving about 54 miles to work and back. And like on a daily basis, how much more driving do you do? Hopefully you're tired, you're getting some rest. If not, maybe you've got to go to an appointment here or there during the day. So let's just add another 6 miles.
Round it up.
Let's figure on 60 miles what it costs you to buy gas or what it costs us to charge our car. Okay, so Sarah, what does it cost us to charge our car for 60 miles of driving?
About $2 a day.
That's a lot. No, that's fine. $2 a day. That's our average electric bill, and we
Our
drive
added
about 60
electric
bucks.
bill, by
Yeah.
the way. It doesn't count our base electric bill, which we had before we got our vehicle. This accounts for the fact that that's the overage for charging our electric vehicle.
Okay, so about $2 a day for us. So $2 a day times 365 days a year. We're just going to figure on 7 days, even though we know weekends are way different. That is about what, $730, I think, a year.
Okay.
in electricity
I believe you.
for 90% of what we ever do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, there's going to be a time where you're going to take a fast charger and go on a trip or whatever. Okay, but 730 is our average. So
Mm-hmm.
now let's take the average American's commute, that same 60 miles a day. And if they get 30 miles to the gallon, which is better than average, by the way, then they're spending $2,920 a year on gasoline.
Compared to our 700 something.
Right. So the difference is $2,190.
So when you do take that road trip and you drive from Michigan to Florida when you can't stand the winter weather anymore, which we have all been there, you can just rent a car
Or
if
fly.
you
You could
want.
afford plane
You
tickets
could
for the
fly.
family
Oh, that's even
for
better.
that.
Yeah. Or take your time getting down there with your EV and just stop at fast chargers and charge up if you have the
Yeah.
time.
So that's just something to think about. That's in our opinion, who are we? But in our opinion, that's a pretty big savings, over $2,000 a year. And now the next question is going to be, of course, but I can't find a decent electric car.
But also, can I
Oh,
just add
you can
really
add
quick?
almost
When,
anything you want.
when we talk about cost savings and stuff, because also we're not buying gas and that's what we're focusing on in this video, but what we're also not doing is oil changes. So any amount you
changes.
had to do for oil changes, you can add that to your savings with your EV.
Yeah, oil changes. Our brakes go out almost never because we do so much motor braking with electric cars.
Yep.
Lots of savings in, no transmission flushes, no transmission fluid. Anyway, we could spend all day. We're not going to spend all day.
Yeah.
But the point is, there's a lot of money to be had. So the next question is, of course, how do I find a decent electric car that'll do this?
Right.
And again, we run into this buying for your fears because now people start thinking, well, I got to have 300 miles, 300-mile range, 400-mile range. We just talked about this. No, you don't. No, we don't. We need
Most of
70
us
miles
need
at the most.
about 60-mile
Right.
range.
So here's some options. These are cars that I found just a real quick look on the internet. I didn't do any deep dives into these, but just what's out there. And you're going to be surprised. And we don't work for anybody as far as sponsorships or anything. So this information comes from Carvana. That's it.
Also, we don't work for Carvana.
We don't work for
Nobody's
Carvana.
paying us to mention
No
any of these
sponsorship,
names.
No, nothing. So
although if anyone would like
wherever
to
you
pay
buy.
us,
yeah,
by all
Carvana
means,
wants to send us some
contact
money.
us. Leave a
Then my
comment down below.
pockets do have room for a couple extra dollars if they want to put some in there. But anyway, let's get to it. So here's just a couple of cars that you may not have even known existed. For example, is Chevy Bolt the only electric Chevy?
I don't know.
No, there's the Chevy Spark.
Oh, I did know that.
Yeah, the
That's
Chevy
right.
Spark, a little tiny car. It's got 4 seats. I don't know if I'd put 4 regular sized people in this car. But the Chevy Spark, there's one I found online today, a 2016 for what? About $17,000. And there you go. You're gasoline free. It's got plenty of miles to get you through your 60 miles a day. I think it gets like 83 miles or so.
Right. And again, we're speaking in context of commuter cars. So we're not talking about what you're going to take when you go on a long road trip. You might rent a car. You might have a different vehicle that you use for that kind of thing. But for your everyday,
Or you might take the Spark and
back
charge
forth,
it at fast
you
chargers.
might take the
You
Spark.
can.
Yes.
Okay, also, one of our favorite little known electric cars is this one, the Ford Focus 2017. And it's about $19,000. 115 miles of range on this guy.
Yeah,
This
that's
is a
almost
great-
double your daily commute.
Great car. Great car. How about the Kia Soul? You like these little boxy, weird cars? We saw one of these in the wild the other day.
We
just,
did.
like,
It was so
cool.
exciting.
Here's a
Yes.
2017 Kia Soul. What, 19,000? Yeah, 19,000. And how about the Fiat 500e? This adorable little car. There you go. So there's a few choices. That one's what, 14,000 area, something like that. This is just a few cars we looked up. We don't care what you buy. It doesn't mean anything to us.
We get no kickback.
We get no kickback. So don't think that this is a pitch. We don't.
Also,
care.
don't blame us if you buy a lemon. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
there's not much to go wrong on
That's the
an
problem
EV.
with EVs is there's not that much to go wrong. I mean, they really are dependable vehicles.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't want to even charge, if you're like, yeah, I don't even want to spend $2 a day, Chad. Well, then just keep waiting. And pretty soon the Aptera will be available, which you can pre-order it now, by the way. The Aptera charges with solar power. And if your commute is, let's say, less than 40 miles, and you live in a sunny area, you'll never charge. The sun will give you everything you need. But also, if you do charge, you can get up to 1,000 miles on that charge. So now your Florida trip, your California trip, wherever you want to go, take the Aptera.
Definitely.
But that,
Definitely
in our
take the
opinion, is the
Aptera.
gold standard. It's not quite available yet. We pre-ordered. We think you should pre-order.
Yeah, but you're not
Again,
going to
no
get one in
kickbacks,
your
no pitch,
driveway
no nothing like that.
today.
Yeah, you're not going to get it today. Yeah.
Whereas these other vehicles,
You can go online and order these cars, and they'll bring them to you for free right now. Yeah.
yeah. So if you're on the line, if you've been trying to decide if you're ready to make the change to EV, or if you should, or if it's just too much, these are some great options to put you into a daily commute. Assuming your commute is approximately total of 60 miles a day, then all you would have to do is charge at night. You would have your full charging ability. Some of them even have a little more than that, so you'd be in good shape.
And there's so many more. There's the BMW i3 is an excellent choice. There's the
That one has a range extender for the extremely range anxious.
Yeah, some do. Then
Some
there's the
do,
base models. There's the
But you still have to put gas in that, so keep that in mind.
the
range
Volkswagen
extender.
e-Golf. Another
Right.
great used car readily available. Of course, the Chevy Bolt, which is one of ours must-buys. You know, if we were recommending a car, because they've been recalled for their battery, which
Right.
means they're all going to get new batteries.
Yes.
So if you get your hands on a used Chevy Bolt, which has like 250 miles of range,
Yeah.
and you're going to get a brand new battery, that's just a win. We drive the Nissan Leaf. We didn't talk
Yep.
about the Nissan Leaf. What
Oh,
a
yeah,
perfect
great commuter car.
You could buy one from like 2012 if you want, for about 8,000 or 9,000,
Right?
and you could drive around town forever for another 10 years before anything goes wrong with it. Hey, Chad and Sarah, Drive the Lightning. Thank you for taking a few minutes with us. We hope you like what we do here. If you don't like it, give us a thumbs down.
But we hope you'll instead give us a thumbs up
If you
and
like
maybe
it,
also
give us a thumbs
subscribe.
up.
We'd appreciate it.
If you really like it, subscribe.
Please.
If you don't like it, you can subscribe, and then you can watch it and make fun of us.
That's true. We don't
Yeah.
mind that. We don't. That's fine.
And I think even most we appreciate comments.
Yes.
We love the
Yes.
conversations we have with you in the comments feed.
Yep, we appreciate it a lot.
All right,
but
so-
thank you for watching.
yeah.
Even if you don't do any of that stuff, thanks for watching.
Yeah, you're great. And don't buy your fears anymore.
Don't buy your fears. Don't
we're-
buy into your fears.
No, we were talking about buying fears
Buying based on fears.
based on fear.
Yeah. 50 weeks out of 52 weeks in a year, we need a car that will take us 60 miles a day.
Right.
But we buy a car for the other 2 weeks where we might go camping up north or something because we want to
Yeah.
be able to do that. You can still do that.
You can still do that.
You can still do that. You can rent a car, like we said, a different vehicle, or you can tell your friends they have to bring the tent this year. You'll just meet them up there with
Pick
your
me
car.
up on the way. Pick me up on the
Pick
way.
me up on the way.
Yeah.
Ride share. Sounds like fun.
And then the same thing is when
Plane
we go
ticket for your vacation.
and we start shopping for electric vehicles. We're like, okay, I'm not going to buy my fears. I'm fine. I can go electric, but I need a car that goes 300 miles. Why? How often do we drive 300 miles in a day, you know?
right.
So buy what we need for most of the time is what we've done now these last 2 years, and we're so much happier.
Yeah.
We don't go
And-
to the gas station. We don't stress about gas prices going up and down and up and down. We don't feel like we better fill up because tomorrow's going to go through the roof. None of that.
Right. And we realize that for some of you, you're commuting from Grand Rapids to Chicago. You're doing, or you got a 2-hour commute every day. Some of you are doing that. This is not for you.
Yeah, this video
This
isn't about
video-
that.
I'm
Right.
sorry you've watched this much to find
Oh.
out this is not for you.
I wish
but
we could
thank
give you
you.
your time back.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Thumbs up
But
if you
again,
wouldn't
the,
mind.
The average
but anyway,
American, 27 miles
Yeah.
one way, 54 for the round trip.
most of you know you're not driving 2 hours to
know.
work.
You know
Most
what
of
you're
you
not
know
doing.
that.
All right. Again, we appreciate it. If you want to watch more videos, there's a video up here over my head about the Aptera that we talked about, the solar charged car. Somewhere over here on the other side of Sarah, there'll be a video about the BMW i3, two of our favorite subjects to talk about.